Hey guys, today we're going to talk about the counter argument. This is the second half of your body three paragraph, and it's where we kind of switch things up a little bit and we talk about the other side's perspective. So there are three components. The first component is what we call the turn against. So about halfway through your body paragraph, after you've given me your third reason, why you think the way that you do and the evidence that supports that, you then pivot your point of view and tell me what the other side says. So this paragraph here is talking about how pollution, of course, is bad, and a lot of it is caused from pesticides that farmers use. When it rains, they then pour into lakes and streams, polluting the water and killing fish and other things. The turn against is down here. So even though this whole time this paragraph is talking about how pesticides are bad, they do have to then tell me what the other side says. We're supporting pesticides. So you will do the same thing. So they said, however, many people argue that pesticides are essential to protecting crops from insects and ensuring farmers feed our country. So that is a common argument of why pesticides are needed. Okay. I do the same thing in my body three paragraphs. So up here, the first half, talking about my third reason why I think orcas should not be in captivity, basically that they can kill their trainers. But then halfway through, I pivot, I give a turn against. I tell you what the other side says against me. So I've got a quote here from SeaWorld and other theme parks. They claim that the reason why they have orcas and other marine life in captivity is because it allows researchers to monitor and observe their actions kind of in a close proximity, versus in the wild, they can't do that. And it's a common argument from SeaWorld as to why they keep these animals in captivity. Okay, so it's the other side, their opinion. So after you give that turn against and you kind of turn away from your argument and tell me, what people say against you, then you're going to pivot and turn back. Okay. And that's what we call the turn back. It's just a very quick sentence. It's kind of a transition that lets me know either A, these people are wrong, B, the statement that they made is inaccurate, kind of poking holes in the inaccuracy of their opinions, or even if their opinion is correct. So, like the pesticide example here, it's saying while this is true, and it's absolutely true, farmers do need to use something to protect their crops. But they're saying that pesticides also cause a lot of harm. So they're kind of playing, catch 22. Yes, we need it, but they do cause a lot of harm. So you could do that as well, kind of, talk about alternatives. Okay, I said this is an inaccurate statement regarding SeaWorld saying that they want to keep these orcas in captivity so that they can monitor and learn from them. That's inaccurate, and I will point that out later. So then the last part, and this is the most important, you then have to give a piece of evidence to support your counter argument. Okay, so whatever the other side said against you, you want to make sure that you can supply evidence to either A, prove them wrong, or B, show that there is another way to do things, like another solution. Okay, so the pesticide one, like I said, they're saying that farmers need pesticides to help with their crops. But my counter or the pesticide counter argument was just saying, that's nice, but they really do cause a lot of harm. And they're just reiterating how harmful they are. So they're not so much saying that this is a solution, they're just saying there needs to be another solution because this is a real issue. And they give you some statistics about that. So for my example, I'm talking about how SeaWorld's comment is an inaccurate statement. So then I've got an expert opinion here, Lori Marino. She's a neuroscientist, and she talks about how when whales are in captivity, they are behaving differently. And so even though SeaWorld is saying that they can observe these animals and learn so much from them, what they're learning is false. It's skewed behavior because the whales are going to act differently. So that's begging the question as to why are we keeping these whales in captivity, claiming that we can learn so much from them when what we're learning is not an accurate portrayal of how they would actually act in captivity or in the wild. Okay, so it's poking holes in their argument. I'm saying what they said is inaccurate. They're not really getting a clear view of how an orca would act. Okay, so those are, like I said, the three steps to the counter argument. You want the turn back, the turn against, then the turn back, and then find that evidence and prove how they are wrong or prove that there is another solution beside that.